Should be along in a minute. Has anybody opened the doors yet?
Don't know, not sure.
No? They'll tell us when they come in, though. We can hear them coming.
Possibly. I'm just dancing. I'm happy.
Yeah, H-E-P-P-Y. Oh, hang on a minute. They're all here already. Look.
Oh, God, they're watching me dancing. Oh,
yeah. They're here already. Look, they're shuffling away into the chairs. I'm out of focus, as usual. Is that in focus? Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, that'll do. I'm a bit washed out. It looks all pale and pale. Never mind.
That's
Hello, everybody. So, look, somebody there. Paul Stewart said, "Where is your beard?" I said he's had a shave.
No, you asked me if I cut my hair.
Well,
I know technically it's hair, but
pick it.
Yes, I decided to. There was a shaving moment. I only let it grow for so long. I don't want to look like a ship's captain. So
yeah. My wig slipped. Yeah, it's raining.
Can't see the join there, Ted.
Anyway, welcome everybody. Welcome to Monday night. Ted and Fox here at the live stream. It's a horrible, dark, wet night outside now. It's even dark. I have to put the headlights on to come home from work. It's so dark. Horrible. Good evening. It's time to sit down at the bench, have a bit of ramblings and goings on, and see what we're going to come up with tonight. See what we've been doing. We've got some prizes that we're going to announce the winner from last week. One or two other things going to happen. Haven't had any phone calls yet. Never know. You've got to stay to the end. We've got a great new section for eModels on the website. We'll talk about that as well. But first, I'll go across and ask Mr. Wolf what have you been doing, Mr. Wolf?
Hello, Mr. Tedward. Yes, I've been busy working on the Master Chief. He's just about done now, and then I can get back to the Eagle. Did a bit of weathering today. I had an interesting moment where I tried doing a filter with oil paints, but because he's such a big kit, I kind of used a really big brush. I did a lot of dot filter, so I put loads of dots of oil paints all over it, and then kind of got carried away. So when I tried to get it off with a slightly damp with thinner brush, it was like, no, I've just painted the whole thing brown with green bits and yellow bits. So it ended up being more like a get the brush very wet and thinner and do a kind of wash. So it went a bit awry with the dot filter, but it all came out looking good in the end. So I've been working on him the last few days.
What we call happy accidents. We start off with one thing and it turns out into another, but hey, never mind.
Yeah. But he's nearly done now. So as soon as he's done that the way, I can get back on with the Eagle of enormousness.
Speaking of big kits, I have some fantastic news.
Yes, Ted is doing the door after he's done the U-boat.
No, I'm not.
No, get back in the box.
I'm going to give up doing big kits because this, look, it's green. The engine has been painted. The other good news is I have almost finished the video for part 5 of the U-boat video build. I was going to come and give you all a live update and a show a bit of building, like things like that. Then I sat down to it. I thought it's going to be just as easy to film a video. So I've done the video. It's just got to get sort of time and edit together. And in the next few days, it should be up for you to see. And what we'll do, I'll just keep the live updates as that. Instead of doing a build, I'll come along every now and again and just show you what we've been doing. And things like that, and see how that works. So,
Anselmo Guerrero actually says, responds to me about my Eagle. He says, "Hi Fox, how's your Space 1999 Eagle build going, and when will you post again? Enjoy your work." Thank you. I was just saying, now this is nearly finished. I had to take a break from it to do this because I need to get this sold. So now this is nearly finished. Hopefully, the next few days I should be able to crack back on with it.
Yeah,
and get another video up.
Been a bit of a hiatus with summer and things coming along like that, and work, and the wife want me to decorate the house and try and get the house on the market and sold. That's where we've been, but we have been building. We have been building in the background and doing the live streams as well. So
just to be clear, I've not been away from the screen because Ted's been selling his house. That's
no,
live in different parts of the country.
Yeah,
we're not like that.
Yeah, you're quite welcome to dip around and do some decorating if you want and put floors.
Yeah,
and things like that.
We're good friends, Ted, but not that good friends.
Right, there's quite a few in the chat tonight. Let's go and have a look and see who's in. I noticed right at the start of the evening the chat was sort of taken over by the mods. There's a few mods in the chat tonight, and welcome to them. And they do a great job in giving up their own time to come and help us keep an eye on the chat and things like that. Just remember, this is a family-friendly live stream. Keep it nice, keep it clean. And we can all get along nicely. But if you have any problems, if any issues, just approach one of the mods and chat to them, and they can sort it if we don't notice it in the meantime. Oh, where was it? I lost the track. Yeah, we're going to see who's in. So Alex is in. Gross Models, good evening to the new mod. Nick McVeigh. Yeah,
I'll correct you if you pronounce anything wrong.
Yeah, I'm bound to pronounce things wrong. You know what I always do? That's why you let me do this bit, because you can all have a laugh at my pronunciation.
Yes, we've got to get the comedy where we can. Mind that rich comedy vein.
Steve Shed, Scale Model, says hi. Gross. God, don't let anybody in. If you could chat, they can't get in because of all the chatting. Bob Bobbington, well, welcome. Good evening again to you. I've lost track of the chat already. TK's in. Good evening, TK. Paul Stewart, Ron Mack, Nat Bliss, Kenneth M. Good morning, he says. Where are you from, Kenneth?
He's Australia, mate.
He's Australia.
Yeah, and under.
Yeah, models back. Yeah, they can chat to each other. They're more or less neighbours, really.
Yeah, don't forget, for Kenneth, it's like first thing in the morning and it's still spring.
Yeah,
and he's probably still got better weather than us in summer, where we've just got winter in summer. So.
Yeah, it's horrible dark outside, isn't it? And they're just getting up into the bright, warm sunshine.
Yeah, good day, Kenneth.
Yeah, Ron Mack.
He's right, mate.
Yeah, Ron Mack thought he could slip this one by his question before the lads get here and laugh. He's melted the plastic tracks on his tank today by setting fire to it.
Get in. Yes, good man. Good lad.
I bet that was quite dramatic. Yeah.
You've now passed that milestone of accidentally setting fire to one of the models you're working on. That's like a rite of passage.
Yes.
It's like drinking the cup. It's like drinking the brush water.
Did you give it lots of...
Wait, it wasn't Ron last week that was asking about how to glue tracks together, and we were saying like use a candle and a spanner and a screwdriver. It's not our fault, is it?
Yeah, what we say in this chat, we can't be held responsible.
Yeah, what goes on in the chat stays in the chat.
Yes. So he's now melted the tracks for his Dragon 135 late Tiger. Does anybody know where he can get some spare tracks?
If he's only melted the little bits where they attach, then make sure that bit's hidden under the armor of the tank, and just get some bit of
cotton or something.
Yeah, tie it together. Nobody will ever know. If it's like the whole track is melted and it's a pile. Yeah.
A melted blob on the bench.
Yeah. I don't know what Dragon is like for spares, or whether you have to go through to Dragon. I will give the guys at eModels a call first.
Yeah.
In case they can get hold of Dragon and get spares. If not, you might need to go to Dragon Direct and say, hello.
Just might be able to tell you who the supplier is, or sort of whether they have a spare parts department.
Yes, because some manufacturers do, like Revell do their own. You contact Revell in Germany for spares, although most retailers can probably get them for you, but it's just faster to go straight to the manufacturer.
Yeah, but I hope you were videoing that part of your build.
Oh God, yeah, that'd be great. Although you'd have to censor some bits out.
Yeah, like the swearing. Right, yes, yeah. Some of the guys in here might know the answer to that as well. You're more the guys in the chat. You guys are more than welcome to answer questions, rather than just kind of and like that. If you do have a question, post your question in capital letters so it stands out a little bit, and we can hopefully, if we miss them, we can go back and pick them up and try and do our best to answer them for you. But
yeah, the chat does move really fast, so 99% of things that go on in chat we don't even spot because we're too busy doing the looking pretty on camera bit and desperately trying to think of things to say. So do put your questions in big fat capital letters so we can spot them.
Yeah, because sometimes we can spot them, but we're in the middle of a chat and then it goes up and we've got to try and find it again. Yeah. So
it does move really fast. So if you do a question and we never get around to answering it, apologies. Obviously try again next time, but just put it in caps. We'll spot it. Do say hello to we've got obviously Will and TK are in chat tonight as the mods. We also have our new Treehouse member, Chris from Gross Models, who is your new mod. So be nice to him. It's his first day, so cause as much problems for him as possible, but still be polite and nice about it.
Right, where we're up to, after we all had a giggle at Ron, sorry Ron, it was a nice comedy moment. Scott's in from opening.
Good girl.
Yeah. Ron Mark.
Oh, I forgot Odo. Sorry, he wasn't in shot.
Yeah. Aid Math. Models by Will again. Kenneth M. Simon D, Ron Mark, Phil East, Keith, Alex. Oh, right, here's one. Stijn van Gemet.
Hang on, where are we? Let me find it. Let me correct you. I can't find it now. I've got to try and find it.
Just down from the Ron Max question.
I've got, yeah, but that's like saying, yeah, but I've got to find. Is it Stein van Gemmerts by any chance? Just from memory.
That's it. Yes.
You are. I remembered it. Nice one. Not needed to pronounce it. Hopefully, right. I remembered it. You mean I have a memory? I have a memory. I still haven't found it. Never mind. Moving on.
Yeah, but that's him anyway. Good evening, Mr. Loth, Rustin Customs Models, Bob Bobbington, Paul Stewart. Got your question, Paul? We'll answer it.
Stein van Gemmet says yes. So I did get it right. That's from memory as well, Stein. I remembered your name.
Kenneth said my hair looks good. Brilliant. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Right, he's won the prize. There we go. Next. Flattery will get you everywhere with Ted.
Nick McVeigh says, evening anyone from a not so sunny Macclesfield. Yeah, well, it's out by you. It's out by you, Fox.
Yeah, it's 5 or 10 miles away. I've got to tell you, Ted, just going wild handbrake turn off topic here. I know we're British and we complain about the weather. It's in our DNA. But I've got to tell you, there's been about 3 days of summer this summer.
Yeah.
I've had so many plans to go outside and like rattle can the eagle and rattle can that big thing. I can't because it's raining, and it's like, just give me a day where it's not too hot and sunny, but it's not raining and cold. This summer's rubbish. It's been rubbish nonstop.
Well, I started the season with a bottle of suntan cream in my bag. I thought, well, I'll take that with me because I'm going to need that. If I'm working on the lakes, I'm going to need some suntan cream. Hasn't even been out of my bag.
I'm getting some feedback. Can people still hear us? Is the sound all right? Or is it just my mum's iPad? Can you all hear us in chat? Let us know if the audio is okay.
Yeah, you're sounding all right to me. Hello, London. Hello, Manchester.
I know we can hear each other. Nate Bliss says pardon. Yeah, so I think the sound's all right. Yeah, it might be your iPad. That's Mum. She's what? Mum? It might be your iPad. Just come out and go back in again. Remember last week, kind of gave me the news update with the hand that came in with a bit of paper. My mum likes to watch the stream, bless her.
Yes.
My mum rocks.
Right. Okay. Is that a voice from the background? Yeah.
Could you hear it?
Yeah, I can hear it.
Oh, she was downstairs when she said that. This microphone's good, man.
Oh, yeah. We both have, if anybody's doing videos themselves out there, we both have the Yeti microphone, and they are awesome.
Yeah.
If you want to feed the sound into your computer and do it separately and record it that way, the Yeti microphone will pick up an ant sneezing.
I mean, the beauty of it is it's a cardioid microphone, which is supposed to be like this close to your face. So it's perfect for real close voice work, but it actually works a long way away. I mean, I sound a little bit echoey, and so does Ted, but if we actually used it the correct way, where it's this far from our face, if you watch the gallery video that went up on the eModels page today, that's done like this far from the microphone. They're amazing. They're not cheap, but they're amazing. Totally not available at eModels.co.uk. No.
Yeah, there are things that eModels don't sell that you have to go to. There are other producers are available of sound microphones.
Although we would recommend, if you're going to buy a decent microphone, actually don't buy the decent microphone and go and spend it to eModels instead of models.
Yep, that's it. That's why.
Contractual obligations.
Yeah, any text, any comments that you have in your videos that you're making, you could put them in text. You don't need sound at all.
Kenneth M says, let your mum share some embarrassing stories, Fox. Don't.
Yeah, get your mum to fetch you out the photo album.
Oh, you don't want to do that. It's all in the 1970s, trust me. It's all. So it wouldn't be embarrassing to me because I was like 5 or 6. It's embarrassing to my brothers who had the flares and the hair and
right. Phil Lewis says there's AFV Club workable track links, but not sure how good they are. That'll be for the
for Ron Max exploded vehicle.
For the burnt vehicle. Yeah.
Remember, kids, fire and plastic, not good friends.
Yeah. Make sure you do this under supervision of an adult.
Yeah. Get a grown up in, Ron.
Ron Max says, if eModels ain't got it, you don't need it. Spot on.
Yeah. Nate Bliss says, when Fox was in the Cubs, I wasn't in Cubs. I was in Church Lads Brigade for about 3 weeks, but then I realised we'd go on a Wednesday afternoon, and that was the same time that Star Trek was on when I was like 6. So I said I got to leave because Star Trek's on. That was it.
Yeah,
I got the Spanky Thunderbirds uniform and wore it like twice.
well, I was in the Cubs. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Who else was in the Cubs? Is that an international thing, Cubs?
Yeah, yeah. It's, well, there's the Boy Scouts of America in America, obviously.
Yeah.
It's not the same.
Could we imagine Wilt in New Zealand in the Cubs?
Oh, no, bro. I'm in the Cubs, bro.
Yeah, in shorts, mate. Yeah.
Dib. I think it's just a British thing and her colonies. I know the Americans have Boy Scouts and the Cub Scouts and stuff, but I think that's like their own version.
Boys Brigade.
Oh, no, yeah. Well, you see, Will was in the Boys Brigade. That means me and him are mortal enemies. Because when I was a kid, I'm not a churchgoer. We were never a religious family. But there were two, like, it sounds really weird to say it nowadays, but kind of religious factions in our town. There was the Boys Brigade and the Church Lads Brigade, which are basically the same thing. You got to wear a Thunderbirds uniform with shiny buttons and stuff and parade up and down the streets in the town with somebody playing some band instruments really badly. And you didn't know why. It was quite fun to walk up and down and do a parade. And Church Lads Brigade and Boys Brigade were like mortal enemies. Never understood the point of them at all. But
I do realise we have an expert in the room tonight, Scott Sutherland.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, yes, he's a scout leader.
Yeah, he knows all about the scouts, and he's
an explorer scout leader.
Biggest youth movement in the world. It's brilliant. Yeah,
yes.
There's lots of others as well. I noticed if one or two people said TK was in Scouts, Kenneth M was in the Cubs, Nat Bliss was in Badgers. Isn't Badgers? Is Badgers the? I think the St John Ambulance Brigade, were they?
I don't know. Will Models by Will, one of your mods for this evening, says he didn't go for the churchy side of things. I didn't either, but where we were, Boys Brigade had big plastic square badges on their Thunderbirds caps. We had proper metal things and pins, and we were like, yeah, that uniform's well better. So that's why I went for Church Lads Brigade. Then I got the uniform and then left after 3 weeks.
So you could play Thunderbirds.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the Thunderbirds cap. No idea what happens to that uniform. It'd be like this big now if I looked at it.
I think I was in the Cubs, and then I went to the ABC Miners. Did you ever got the pictures and get the ABC Miners?
Nope.
Or was that before?
I wasn't around in the 40s, Ted.
Yeah, never mind.
Newsreels.
That's when they used to show episodes of Flash Gordon, the original black and white.
I used to watch that on telly when I was a kid. The ship's kind of going with the stuff like that. Well, we're going too retro now for our viewers, I think.
Yeah. Right. Models by Will. Chris, could we start a treehouse band? No, right.
Gazin Malvin says, Fox, is that an LED lamp behind you, and is it any good? Do you mean this one? There's one here as well. Yes, they are brilliant. However, I can't tell you who they're made by because I can't remember. It's some odd third-party Chinese company. Also, about a week after I bought them, I went on Amazon to get another one, and they didn't exist on there anymore. So I can't tell you who they're made by because there's no name on it. Oh, they're made by Saicoo, S-A-I-C-O-O. They are really good because you can pose them around. They can go bright or dark, so you can change the brightness, and you can change the color from normal daylight. I can't do it on camera because it'll blind the camera, but I'll do it anyway. You can do it from normal daylight, or you can make it go yellow. That's kind of the reading light color.
Mm-hmm.
You can also change the brightness as well. And they have a USB socket that doesn't actually work because it's Chinese knockoff. So there you go. But I don't think they exist anymore.
Yeah, I've been on a problem lately with my lighting setup, particularly when I'm filming for the video builds. That the light, I think it's camera, it causes an instant flash. There's no a flash gun's gone off. Yeah, Mr. Loth model flash guns. Yeah. So I have some photo lamps, and they are particularly bright.
Are they the ones that look like curly chips?
Swirly.
Like
I won't get them down because they're up here. But if you want to use them for model making, they are pretty good. I don't think they'll last forever like some of those LED lamps do, but they are awesome. And
handy tip for your workbench, and I did this. As I've said before, a lot you don't know, but my workbench here up above is an old loft bed. It's just used for storage now. But I had these two lights, and I've got this overhead light that you can't see on camera here pointing at me, so you can see my beautiful face and lack of beard. But it wasn't quite light enough. I was getting kind of funny colors. I was getting bluey tones when I was filming. So all I did was I got on Amazon and got myself one of those like 10-foot or 20-foot long strips of LEDs. that are designed to go around windows and things. And it's been cable tied to underneath the old loft bed. And it's this nice bright light now. If I turn it off, I'll show you the difference. That's the difference. So if you want some extra overhead lighting, it cost me like about a tenner. Go and get it's just a long, I think they're like 20 feet or something. Comes on a reel, just LED light strip. Make sure you get one that's daylight color, not blue or green or red or yellow. They come in different colors. Make sure you get one that just says natural light. And it works really well. It might get some flicker if you're on a mobile phone film, and if it's, say, an iPhone, which is designed at 50 hertz, you might get some flicker, but you can auto focus on your desk and it'll get rid of it. So cheap way to add extra light to your working area.
Yeah, I just started with an overhead angle poised lamp. That's what I started mine with. But the lighting in here is actually fluorescent tubes, but it seems for some reason it doesn't seem to affect the camera. It doesn't flicker. Or at least it's not.
Your camera's probably 60 hertz native, which is fine.
Yeah,
I think it's 50 hertz in the UK. I think we're 50 hertz. So electric lights flicker at 50 hertz, and so do cameras made for the European market. But we're like an iPhone is American, so it's designed to the shutter to flicker at 60 hertz. I could have it the wrong way around. So if you're using, say, an iPhone or an American mobile phone, and you're filming something and you're getting those bands across your picture, it means the refresh rate of your camera, the shutter rate, is not the same as the refresh rate of your mains power. So that's why you get the stripy sometimes. And the only way to get around that is not have strip lights, because that's usually what causes it, or to adjust the frame rate or the refresh rate of your camera.
Yep.
Handy little tip.
Yep.
But although for some reason, if I've got this set up, because I have it on an overhead thing here filming, if I've got it set up and it's doing the flicky, I just focus it on the desk and it seems to get rid of it. So nice one, Apple. Thank you very much.
Yeah, brilliant. Yep. So, right. Questions.
Paul Stewart says, don't say anything funny or interesting. I need a wee. You've got about
wee.
2 hours, mate. You're good. Don't worry about it. We'll be.
Yeah, we'll keep them. We'll save them up for you. Hurry up, Matt. Yeah. Just tell us when you're back and make sure you wash your hands.
The other advantage that Ted's got with his workspace is he's got white walls. Rather cleverly, when I was much younger and this room was decorated, I thought I'll paint the walls in a shade of yellow because it'll be nice and summery all year round, which is great if it's just a room. When you try filming in it, it kind of sucks for your light balance. So
yeah, they're actually beige, but it's near enough white. Yeah, it looks white on here, but it's actually beige. Right. Right. We need some questions. Have I any questions?
I like the fact we start the whole thing on a handbrake turn straight away and just go off into all different subjects. We're not scripted, folks.
Yeah, we just take it up as we go along. As you know, it's just the friends that are chatting in the pub. Yep. We will try to keep it sort of model based, but it doesn't have to be. It's just a way of coming along.
We've not had any questions. We've not had many questions in the chat, so do keep the questions coming. Again, don't have to be about models. It can be about anything you want.
I've got one that's coming. I've got a couple coming via email.
Jolly good.
When I can find them, because I have to go into a different account.
I had Irish stew for my tea, and every time I burp, it tastes like Irish stew. If I have a funny face, it's because I'm going, Irish stew. Bob Bobbington says, can I win a sticker in big capitals with many, many question marks? Yes, just go to the eModels website, order something and put, please can I have a sticker? And you've won a sticker.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
How long will it take to airbrush a room? All the time in the world, unless it's a tiny room.
That
capsule hotel, you could do it in about 5 minutes.
Right. The question that I have is about airbrushing. It's quite a long question, so I'll just sort of skim reading it, and I'll get back to
paraphrase it, Ted.
Paraphrase it. It's a question from Craig Fraser. Hi, Craig, if you're watching. Thank you very much for sending a question in to Ted at eModels.co.uk. And he just say, if you have a question that is quite involved, send an email and we'll try and get it answered that way. It's about airbrushing. He wants to know what he needs to get started an airbrush. I was wondering if you'd be able to point out some equipment for me to get started with airbrush. For a long time, it's been something he wants to get into, but not having much spare time or cash at the end of the month. I just haven't found room for it. He's managed to make some of the room to give it a go. all of the books he's read, they look quite contradictory in what they say. Yeah, I'm with you on that. So you with me so far, right? Up to now, he's planning to buy an airbrush, and he doesn't know what to buy.
Okay, we can do that.
Yep. Also, he's getting quite confused about what they say in all the books and everything he's read. He's mostly wanting to focus on things like gunpla. He knows he needs a mask, spray with airbrush and cleaner, all the paints, etc. And he's not sure what else.
So he just wants some pointers, really, doesn't he?
He just wants some pointers. Let's get him started. I'm not sure what the equipment's best to start with. He has about £300 to £400 to play with. Wow.
Yeah, now Pete mate has heard that.
Yeah. Form eModels up and buy all the things.
Yeah, we can actually answer that very, very quickly.
Yeah. Okay.
Give
we'll do our best, Craig. Go on.
Yeah. Thank you for the question. We can answer it very quickly. I say give eModels a call, but we won't answer it that quickly. We won't be that glib. But I would say to anybody who's looking at getting into airbrushing, and I've directed many people this way, if you're not sure what you really think you need or want, give the guys at eModels a call, because they'll be more than happy. If you just say to them, I'm a beginner, I don't know what I'm doing, and I've got a budget of X, they'll have a look and see what would benefit you the most. And I can promise you, they won't sit there and say, right, let's try and make all of that money. They'll try and, they know about their airbrushes, so they will actually try and guide you down the right path. But what I would say, and I'll make this as quick as I can't get my lid off my airbrush. Ted, I can't get my lid off my airbrush. There we go.
Have you left paint today?
I don't know why I'm taking it off. What I would say is, generally, obviously, you're going to need a compressor, you're going to need an airbrush. There's only a few basic requirements. Compressor is the easiest. Ideally, you want a compressor with a tank, so you can get a nice steady airflow, and a pressure regulator valve, so you can control how much pressure. You don't have to. If you're just starting out, you can get a real little simple one that just basically pushes air through the airbrush. But airbrushing is all about learning how to do it. And I've always said, and we've said on this stream before, airbrushing is a very steep but very short learning curve. It's like that. So there's a lot to learn, but you learn it very quickly. It doesn't take long. So compressor, you just want ideally something with a tank, because that stores air. And if you have a tank on the compressor and it's pushing the air from the tank, you get a more steady airflow. You don't, with some really cheapy compressors, the compressor's kind of going digga, 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 trying to push the air through, and you get pulses of air, and that's sometimes where an airbrush can go like that, because it's just not a very good compressor. So something with a tank and something with a pressure regulator, or if not, get a pressure regulator. In terms of airbrushes, you don't need to start expensive, but there are some sort of handy hints, I would say, to make your learning curve as easy as possible. There's three types of airbrush. There's siphon feed, side feed, and gravity feed. The only one you want to get is gravity feed. I'll tell you why. Siphon feed is the bottle at the bottom. It sucks. Although it doesn't suck, that's the problem. They're a nightmare to clean, and they need a higher air pressure to get the paint up through the tube and into the airbrush. So if you say starting out with rattle cans of air, which is another option, if you're just getting started, you can use cans of air. You don't want a siphon feed. They're a real pain in the bum to clean out. You can't do quick color changes unless you've got lots of bottles, and they're just not as good. So don't go for the one with the bottle at the bottom. Side feed is one with the cup at the side, and it's a mixture of the pressure of the air coming through, the vacuum pulling the paint through, and gravity a little bit. And then there's gravity feed, which is like this with the cup at the top, where gravity does all the hard work. The air comes through, pulls through here, the paint is pulled down by gravity and just comes out the airbrush. These give you the best finish. They're also the easiest to clean out, because you, in most cases, you can take the cup off and get inside. You take it apart. Not always the cup comes off. With side feed, it's sometimes a pain to get the paint out of the tube between the brush and the cup. So side feed is just about as good, but again, it's a bit more fiddly to clean. So for the easiest experience, get yourself a gravity feed with the cup on the top. So you want a gravity feed. You want dual action. It'll say dual action. What dual action means, this isn't the best airbrush to show you because this is a trigger, but dual action means the separate control of air and paint. So with the normal trigger button where you press down on the button, push it down. Yep, there you go. You push down. Will you be the glamorous demonstrator there, Ted? You push down to get air. That gets air going through the airbrush.
The further back you pull it, the more paint that comes out. The further
Yes.
down you push, the more air comes out. And it's finding a balance between the two.
Yep. And that basically means, yeah, you've got separate control between air and paint, so you can control how much paint is going out. If it's a single action, it just means that no matter how you press the button or pull the trigger, you get air and paint at the same amount of mix. You can't have air without paint or paint without, you can't do it that way. With a dual action like that, you can control how much air there is to how much paint. So you can then spray just air if you want to, or have a very fine layer of paint. I would say go for dual action, gravity feed. The only other choice you've really got is, and this is a personal choice, whether it's trigger action like Ted's got there, if you would wave that.
Like that. Trigger.
Yep, which is the button on the top. Or sorry, that was well, I call it trigger action. I call it's button action.
Button, yeah, well, it's a button. Yeah.
Yeah. Or this one, which is a trigger, an actual pulley trigger, and this is dual action. So you get just up to about there, and then it's paint. It's purely a personal choice. I use this because I get really bad. I can't bend the ends of my fingers, so I get really bad crampy hands if I'm using a button trigger for more than say 10 or 15 minutes. And sometimes I'm spraying for like 45 minutes to an hour. So I just find a trigger much easier to use. I don't get hand cramps, and I think I can control the paint a lot more carefully. And if I want a certain amount of paint, I can keep it at that amount. So I find it easier, but either or. In terms of what brush you want, I would stick to the good brands. So things like Badger, Iwata. If you flush with cash and you want really good quality, Ted's there. Is it Harder and Steenbeck?
Harder and Steenbeck. Now these have Harder and Steenbeck. There are entry level sort of airbrushes. There are mid level airbrushes, and there are spend a fortune airbrushes. And don't buy something too cheap, but buy the best you can afford. Now, if you say you've got £300 and £400, by the time we spoke about a compressor and an airbrush, you're not going to have much left after that. But not to worry, because it's like a mechanic or an electrician building his toolbox. He'll spend a little bit to get the quality tools and then build on that. I got away without using an air filter system for a long time. I just used a cardboard box, and I think in some of the earlier eModels videos, that's actually what you saw me using.
That's why Ted can't run up a flight of stairs without gasping for breath.
And now I can't breathe.
Yes.
Yeah. So, but a cardboard box, spraying outside with a respirator on or something like that, that'll get you started and away with it. Don't worry too much about the finer details. Get yourself some good tools to start with. We mentioned about the bottle on the bottom, the tank on the bottom of your compressor. If you're having to work indoors, if you're working in a spare bedroom or something like that, they're a lot quieter than the ones that run continuously. So if you're worried about disturbing family or airbrushing in the middle of the night, try and get yourself one with a tank on the bottom, and that'll spray a lot better. That's your tools sorted. So yeah, have you got something else to add to that, Fox?
Yeah, I was just going to say it's kind of a dazzling amount of information, but all you need to do is, and like I said before, give the guys at eModels a call and say you're looking for a compressor and a dual action gravity fed airbrush. That's all you need to ask them. Dual action gravity fed airbrush that a beginner can work with. And like I say, there's Badger, there's Iwata, there's Harder and Steenbeck, there's Pash, there's a few others. You can go and buy cheap ones off the internet, sort of Chinese knockoffs, but to be honest, they might be fine, they might not. They're not really that good. And like I said before, it's a steep learning curve. You'll get there very quickly, but it's a big hurdle to get past when you're first learning it. So there's no point giving yourself extra hurdles to jump over with a dodgy, cheap airbrush. You don't need to spend a fortune with a beginner brush, but just tell them you're looking for a dual action gravity fed airbrush and a compressor that can go with it, and tell them if you're working in a bedroom with people running around and all that, so they'll know if you're looking for a super quiet one, and they'll steer you right. They won't gouge you for price. They'll go for what works for you. If you tell them you're a beginner, they know you're not going to buy the most expensive airbrush.
The guys that look to equip you out and leave you with some cash. They'll not just take everything off you, because they'll leave you some cash, because you might go back and buy some kits off them to use your airbrush on, which moving on to the next stage is if you've been reading books and looking at the internet, you've probably sort of fried your brain by people talking about thinning and mixing and things like that. Don't worry about it. Just go for some airbrush compatible paints, which you can drop straight into your paint cup and off you go. Get used to your airbrush, get used to your compressor, and then you can start worrying about thinning paint and choosing the right mixtures and things like that. Just get some airbrush compatible paint and away you go.
Yeah, Vallejo Model Air is a great example because most of the Vallejo, not all of them, but most of the Vallejo Model Air paints are actually designed to be thin, just about right for airbrushes. And if you do need to thin paints, don't worry about mixing. As long as it's about as thick as skimmed milk, that's all you need to know.
But don't worry about that at this stage.
Yeah, don't worry about it now.
And finally, I think finally to wrap it up, the only other bit of kit that you're going to need is just some cleaning equipment, some airbrush cleaner, where's my airbrushing cleaning stuff gone? A selection of bristly brushes. I even use, and I think Fox uses them.
Pipe cleaners.
Yeah, pipe cleaners. Cotton buds.
Cotton buds,
yeah,
and an old brush so you can get it in the paint cup and get it.
What Fox and I use as well is some interdental brushes from the chemist.
Yeah.
Really
they are invaluable. They are the best and cheapest airbrush cleaning tools.
Yeah.
It's easy to get sidetracked by all the different advice and information out there. So basically ignore all of it. And like we said, just give them a call. Say you want a double action gravity fed airbrush for a beginner and a compressor. Thank you very much. Please, what do you recommend? And I'll get you sorted out. Once you're confident and you're happy with how you're doing, then you can start looking at moving up to the more expensive airbrushes if you need to, and a bigger compressor and things like that. But don't worry about it too much. Just start off small, start off budget, see what they've got in stock, see what they suggest, and just get happy with it. Because you want to, like I said, it's a steep curve. You want to get rid of any obstacles, so have the easiest time learning. Then as soon as you've learned, you can crack on and get the hardcore tools then.
Yep. So
that was a long answer, that wasn't it?
That was good. Yeah. Hopefully, we've answered that and answered it for a few other people as well.
So, Guys and Melvin says, Fox, what was the airbrush I was holding? That is a Neo 40 Water TRN1. It's the one with the trigger. It's the same airbrush as the button Neo. It's just got the trigger. So if you have any restriction of mobility in your hand, arthritis, gout, any kind of restrictive movement, like I say, I can't bend the ends of my fingers. So when I'm like this, it really cramps my hand. If you've got any kind of restricted hand movements, that gives me more control. Because when I'm trying to spray paint, let's say, I know you've got like the restrictor on the back, but let's say I'm doing a little coat and I'm trying to pull the button back a little bit, and I'm like, that's perfect, that's the right amount of paint. And then your finger goes like that, and you've splobbed. Whereas this, I can hold it like that with my middle finger, because that's my Xbox trigger finger, and I pull it back a little bit to the right place, and then I can kind of very gently lock my hand in place. I just kind of clamp my hand a little bit, and it's not going to move. That finger isn't going to move, so I can keep the same amount of paint coming out. If I've got a button, my finger's constantly doing that as I'm trying to get my hand comfortable. With this, I get it comfortable, and it's... So to me, personally, it's a lot easier to use a trigger, but your mileage may vary. Some people much prefer the twiddly button. I just prefer...
Yeah, it's a little bit like cars, I think. You'll ask 20 modelers their views on airbrushes and what they suggest to use, and they'll all come up with a different one. It's like people have cars, they'll all have their own idea of what cars better than another one. So that's yeah.
Paul Stewart says, Xbox trigger finger, why do you never use it? At least I'm actually alive during the game at some point, Paul. Paul's always falling over.
And after all that, Bob Bobbington said, just buy a cheap and chunky airbrush and compressor and spend the rest on booze. that way you won't care what your airbrushing turns out like.
Yeah, that's true. You might even come out better, you never know.
All right, I was just going through a few of these. Stuart Billington said, although I realised one or two people have answered it in chat already, he's just getting back into modelling after a number of years. What would be your primer of choice for armour? Well, it doesn't.
Sorry, was it primer? Did you say
primer? Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily be just for armour, but primer. I've got the.
There you go. End of answer.
Yeah.
Oh well, I think they're exactly the same.
Well, yeah. MiG one shot, UMP primers.
Yep.
Another one. There's the one in white.
They are exactly the same product.
Yep.
They're relabeled.
Yep. If you're airbrushing, they airbrush on fantastically, lay down really smoothly, nice and thin. And I think one or two people have already said that in the chat.
They are relabels of Badger Steinal Res, which is just the best airbrush primer out there.
Yeah.
UMP's Ultimate Primer and Ammo One Shot, they're both exactly the same product. So I don't think you can really get Badger Steinal Res over here in the UK. It's not as common. That's why UMP in the UK have got the white label license for that, and Ammo distribute over Europe. So airbrushing it, do it. It's the best primer. Don't ever use Vallejo primer. Oh, don't. That's terrible stuff. But the UMP, the MIG stuff, brilliant. If you're rattle canning it, you really can't beat, to me, a rattle can primer. It's the best.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yes. Scruffy Pup says, as Ant from Bashing Kits, has he chosen what he's going to make for eModels? Ant from Bashing Kits is the new. I don't know if we announced this last week. Yes, we did, didn't we?
We announced it last week. Yes.
Yeah, he's the new video making contributor for eModels. He has decided.
Has he?
I know what he's making. I know what he's making.
You're going to tell us, or is it?
I'm not going to tell you, but I'll say, as you all know, Ant makes little tiny kits. It is a 1/144 scale kit, because of course it is. It's Ant we're talking about, but it's not tiny. I'll leave it at that.
Well, we await the announcement then. I don't think Ant's with us tonight. I haven't seen him in chat, so we can't ask him. Well, we await his first video.
Yes.
Even I don't know. Never mind.
I know.
Right. Okay.
We missed like 100 other questions. I think I've just got people did actually say UMP and stuff like that. Got
that one. Uniroy, question. I want to purchase some magnifying goggles. He noticed that Ted has some behind him. Do they fit over glasses? And can you give some advice for some good ones? Right, I'll get them down. Excuse my back.
Yeah, they fit over glasses. Hey, I look like a right gimp, don't I? I don't know. Have a look and see what eModels have actually got in stock, because there are like a million different brands of them.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah, Optivisor, I think, are the excuse me, are the named brand.
Yeah.
I don't think these certainly aren't Optivisors. They are just a Chinese plastic thing, but they work quite good. They do fit over glasses, and they do fit. And this type have that long since. Yeah, they have a drop down. Inside here there's 3 magnifications of that one, then you add that one to it, that's 2, and then you have a third one, a little spyglass that goes on there. And these,
I took mine off because it got a bit loose, and every time I looked over it, I was like, get out of the way.
And these here have some lights in them.
Yep, you can get them with and without lights.
Yeah, with them like that. Yeah, it's just a bit of a novelty. I don't find the lights of any use, actually. But
no, I don't. They just add extra weight, which makes it uncomfortable. I had a look in the store. There's nothing actually in stock at the moment. But I'm sure, having watched this, Pete will now be ordering a whole mess of optical visors.
But good, yeah. They're the sort of thing that you don't use all the time, unless you're really pretty short-sighted or whatever. You don't use them all the time, but they're handy to have for that time when you need them.
Yeah, especially if you're painting miniatures or tabletop figures or anything really tiny or small 1/35. You really don't. When you put them on, you get used to them. You're like, wow, how did I ever paint without these? I mean, I use them all the time now because my eyesight's terrible. But yeah, they do fit over glasses. So some of them do come with packs of lenses, so you can have different magnifications as well. So just have a look around. I'm sure, as I say, I was mentioning them now and saying they're not in stock, Pete will be on the phone to someone ordering some to get in stock.
Yeah, that's one reason I actually did choose this type. There are other types that actually fit on like glasses, but this is the type I choose purely because of that, just so I could leave the glasses on. I suppose you can take your glasses off and adjust the magnification of the glasses to suit, but yeah, this is far easier. Yeah, I think I have. Although you've looked, I think I have seen them in eModels before.
Yeah, they have. That one I got from eModels. I just don't think got any. Get my words out. I don't think we've got any in at the moment, but I'm sure that will change very quickly. We'll get a text from Pete.
Paul Stewart says he just likes laying down in a game. I guess you know what that's about.
Yes. Well, Chris told him that it was a different model. It was a different button that I pressed to get him back up and alive again. So. For those who don't know, Chris from Chris Models, Paul and I do a Destiny stream every now and then.
Paul Stewart,
Destiny.
yeah, going back to the UMP primers and stuff. Paul Stewart says he wishes that they came up with a ball bearing in for mixing, like MiG, yeah, with a ball, with a rattle ball.
They have stirring balls.
Stirring balls.
There's stirring balls on the packaging.
Stirring balls.
Handy tip: if you are wanting, it's very easy to put a ball bearing into paint pots and jars. Just make sure it's either glass or stainless steel.
Yeah.
Don't use any other metal because it will go rusty.
Yeah, and there are some stainless steels that aren't pure stainless steel. They have ferrous content in them, and they will rust.
So the rust and make your paint go all funky. So make sure that just get yourself a pack of stainless steel balls.
Yeah, you can get them from eModels. They do sell them separately. You can get them, or just wait until you run out of a pot of paint and then never throw the bottle away. Always take the ball bearing out of it.
Yeah. I wish I thought of that. I don't know why I never thought of that before.
Right. Model by Will. Yeah, well done. Yeah, that's good questions. Question, Ron Matt. I got Lego Batman 3 Beyond Gotham on Xbox. How do I save Adam West on level 1?
No, I never played it. Is that Destiny? That's not Destiny, is it?
No, Lego Batman. What, you don't play Lego Batman?
Not my kind of game, Ted. I need some kind of weapon and aliens to shoot, and it's either that or Fallout or Skyrim. So,
right, yeah. So, sorry, Ron. You'll have to wait till Batman is in Destiny, and we can get Fox to sort it out for you.
Yeah.
Right. Shadowland scale models. What's your favourite model make? I.e., Tamiya. That wasn't a. I have got a cold. What's your favourite model make? I.e., Tamiya, Airfix, etc. Plastic, and why? Favourite model make? Have you got one? Bandai, obviously.
I'd have to split it into two. For glue kits, proper glue kits, it's Tamiya. Yeah, absolutely. And for snap fit kits where I don't need to do any gluing, Bandai.
Yeah, I think
overall, Bandai.
Yeah. I've not had any experience with Bandai and snap kits, unfortunately.
You've built a Bandai?
I built a Bandai. He's down here somewhere. There he is.
There you go. It's a simple one, though. It wasn't a complex one. Yeah, you built a Gunpla.
Yeah, there he is. I built one. I
did a Gunpla.
I haven't weathered it. I don't think I'm going to weather it because I want it nice and shiny. And what I should do, I should take it to work, put it behind the bar so all the Japanese could see it.
Oh man, they'd be, because you get a lot of Japanese tourists on the boat. Oh, that would be awesome because they'd be like, oh, Gundam Exia, oh, they'd love it.
Yeah, I think I'll do that. I'll take it to work tomorrow and stick it on it.
Yeah. What you need is a 1/48 scale mega size unicorn Gundam. I know someone that can build and paint one for you. Yes.
Moving on. Yeah, I didn't answer that quick. Yeah. Moving on. I think my kit of choice would also be Tamiya. I think it's because it's your friend, isn't it? You know it. You know it's good. You know it's consistent, and they have a fantastic range of anything that you want to build, really. So yeah, Tamiya. I do have other favourite kits, but I think Tamiya is always a one to fall back on that you're going to get consistency with.
Yeah. Models by Will, one of our moderators, says you save Adam West by burning the Xbox and getting a real machine like PS4. Really? You're starting console wars in the chat? Oh dear. Anyway, Xbox One X is out soon, and that will just urinate all over your PS4. Moving on. Kevin Lutzer says, off subject, but Ted, in building the U-boat, have you looked on YouTube for the U-505 that's in a museum here in Chicago? If you're ever here, it is a must-see.
Yeah, I think I have seen it on YouTube. I've certainly seen some museum pieces. I think there's one in Germany as well. Is it in Germany? I've certainly seen I'll do some background and work on the models that I'm building. So I've had a look around YouTube, and they're pretty impressive, aren't they? I think that's the one that sort of you walk in and you're underneath it, and then you go up a set of
stairs. So. There's one in Germany somewhere, and it's literally just like on the shore, and they've just kind of built a dry dock around it, and it's all painted up in grey and stuff. I remember seeing a photograph of a U-boat that was beached just after the war on the British coast, and by God, you don't realise how big those things actually are until you see this photograph of one on a beach tilted over, and there's these little tiny people walking around underneath on the beach, and you're like, blimey, they are big. You don't realize. I mean, I know Ted's got one that really reaches the ceiling, but you don't realize how big they actually are in real life till you see people stood around them.
Yeah.
We've started a whole console versus PC war in the chat, so we'll just have to step away from that one, Ted.
Yeah.
I said by we, I mean Will.
Yeah. Well, that's yours. You started it.
Yeah, you lit that touch paper. I just maybe blew on it a little bit. Okay, while you are, I suspect, getting communications, shall I quickly whiz over the gallery shenanigans?
Hey, yeah, let's tell them about the gallery.
Yeah. Do you want to lock it onto me then for a minute,
I'll
Ted?
lock it onto you.
Yay. Now you have no choice but to look at my face for the next few minutes. I'm not that cruel. You may have noticed on the eModels Facebook page and on the YouTube channel, eModels have now launched their gallery. I think they just started this last week. Can't remember if we mentioned it last week. They've launched their customer build gallery. Now, there's two things to talk about here. One is the gallery itself. It's a place for you to upload pictures of your builds and show them off to the entire internet and get feedback from other people, and they can tell you how awesome they are. But it can also win you stuff because we're going to start doing giveaways at the start of every month based on the pictures that have been submitted. So I shall do a screen share. If this works and doesn't break everything. Entire screen.
Press
Right.
the button.
That should take you now. Can you see me, Mother?
Oh, we can see, yep.
Yeah, so here we are. Ignore the address at the top. It's just simply emodels.co.uk/gallery, or you'll see at the top here there is an option for gallery in the menu. Pop along. There's a rather handy dandy video, explains everything, how to use it, voiced by some very nice voiced person. I don't know who that was. Should have a voiceover job for the BBC, I think, whoever did that video. But that just explains it to you. Basically, the simple way to go through it, and I'll explain it quickly, is you have all these different categories. Aircraft, boats, balsa, cars, everything you could want. You can go into any one of these and have a look and see. And you can see in each section there are lots of builds submitted by you guys, by customers and people that go in and read.
Oh,
I'm going to say again.
There's my boat.
Which one? This one, the Loyal Moderator.
Loyal Moderator, and the one on the right next to it.
Ooh, the HMS Nubian. I happen to have a chance to... I've just done a quote from that film I don't believe exists. God damn it. Ted, you made me do a Star Wars prequel quote. Oh. You're in the doghouse now. So I'll give you a quick whiz through. Let's have a quick look at some of the ones that are in there, and I'll explain how you can do reviews and things like that. We have some very nice examples here. We have a Vosper, which has been uploaded. Now, some of these don't have the person's name on, but don't worry, we can see the name when we go into the back end. This rather delightful Vosper, which is very nice. You can see it's just got some very subtle weathering on there. It's very, very subtle.
Nice Picasso. That is Picasso from about the 60s, 70s. Yeah. Nice. I've seen some nice regional control Picassos.
Yeah, nice. So that one's done by Ray Model Fix. It's very, very nice. I'll just whiz through these quickly. I'm not going to spend too long on this. What else have we got? We have this very, very nice AH1Z Viper from Raymond Chan. Look at that. Not only is it an excellent photograph because he's gone to all the trouble of getting the nice depths of focus and the focus and he's got really, look at the canopy on that. It's gorgeous. I mean, helicopters, the idea of building a helicopter gives me the heebie-jeebies because they're just far too complicated and fiddly for me.
I think Tony's doing one now for eModels.
Yeah, Tony's doing one. The fool. It's all the canopy that puts me off. But that is gorgeous. I'm not sure. Did you say what scale it is? I'm going to guess it's probably 1/48th, possibly. But that's beautiful. And that's a beautiful photograph as well.
Yeah. Nick McVeigh asks, is there a limit how many you can put on per month?
No, you can put up as many as you like.
Yeah.
Obviously not like 35 photographs of the same model. Maybe one or two pictures. Well, one picture per model is probably best. So pick your best one. But you can put as many as you like on different models. And this one, just my jaw hit the floor when I saw it. I have no idea what scale this is. Oh, so it says there 1/12 scale. See, I'm not reading the notes. This is gorgeous. If you saw this photograph, you wouldn't know it was a model. A Fiat Mephistopheles. That's beautiful. Again, it doesn't show the person's name on there, but I know who it's from because I can see in the back end. But yeah, so look at the kind of things that people look at the leather on that strap there. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Whether that's actual leather or not, I don't know, but it looks like real leather. So
now, looking at this, we should point out that you don't have to model to this standard. We would like to see your model, whatever standard of modeling, whatever, not standard, I suppose, whatever level of enjoyment you like.
Yeah, you don't have to be a hardcore professional super duper modeler. what's going to happen is, at the end of each month, we're going to go through all these and we're going to pick the favorite 5-star rated picture. And we're not necessarily going to base it on, you know, how good are your modeling skills. We're going to look at what's the model, how have you interpreted it. We're going to look at everything. So we're not always going to pick the most brilliantest painted model in the world. We're going to appreciate that there's modelers of all skill put in builds in here. We're going to look at the one that makes us think that the person that built it had a love for that kit and a passion for what they were doing and really enjoy the build, and it comes through in the build. So don't worry about if you think your skills aren't up to par, they're fine. Everybody's welcome.
Yep.
Now I'm getting a warning saying my computer's memory's low. Never mind.
Yep.
What we need to do, if you want to join, we are going to be doing this every month. All you need to do is you go to the gallery and you quite simply choose, if you've got a picture of a model, say you've got a picture of a car that you've built, click on the gallery you want to put it in, and then at the top just go into upload your model, and that's it. Fill out all your details. Do put your proper name in there, because we need to know if you're chosen as the winner. Obviously you've got my stuff there, your email address, your photo name, whatever you want to call it. If you choose the wrong album at first, say you think, oh actually no, it's a tank, you can change it here. And then the image itself, and what we say with the image is please make sure it's a JPEG or a GIF, not a bitmap or anything else, and try and keep it under 5 meg, because if it's too big, if the file is too big, it won't display. It will upload, but it won't display. And then put some blurb in, explain what your model's about and what you use to make it, because people like to see that kind of stuff. And then you submit it. And what will happen then is you won't see your model straight away. One of us, either somebody at eModels or myself or Ted, has to go in and approve it, so we know it's not a rude picture of lady parts or anything like that. We have to obviously assume there's going to be spam entries. So we'll go in and approve it. So it may not appear straight away, but it will be there. It'll have been submitted and received, and as soon as it's approved by a member of staff, it'll go on. If you then want to spend some time, we do recommend that you go in and do some reviews. We are going to, when we judge the competition, we're going to go off all the ones that have 5-star reviews by users, and we're going to pick the one of those that we like the most. So it's very important that you spend some time reviewing other people's builds, because the more that you review of other people's stuff, other people will be inclined to come review your stuff. So we're trying to get the community all helping each other out and giving feedback and giving praise where it's due. So spend some time to review a build. All you do is, again, go into the gallery, choose the one you want to review. So you just click on show. Don't click on the picture, because that's just a gallery, a slideshow. Click on show. You'll get a full view of the model. And then you just go down here and you can put in your name, your email, and your comment, and give it one of, however many 5 stars I'm going to put. I won't put anyone in here because I don't want to bias anything. But yeah, make sure you spend some time doing reviews. It's much appreciated, and it will help us with the win. And the more you do, like I say, the more people will be inclined to review your stuff and give you good feedback. There's Ted, sorry about that. And what we're going to do, the first draw is going to be on the 1st of November. And what we're going to do, it's going to be ongoing. You don't have to worry about getting your picture in before a certain deadline. All we'll do is on the 1st of every month, Ted and I will go in, pick a 5-star rated picture that we like the most. So even if it's one that was put up 6 months ago, it might still be the one we pick. So don't worry if you don't win the first time, you're not going to be forgotten. So go in, upload your picture, do some reviews. We will then come along. And this month, on the 1st of November, we will pick a winner to win this. The Tamiya 132nd scale Vought F4U 1D Corsair.
Have you seen the price of it? Have you seen the price of it, folks? The price that he's giving away? The price?
Yes, you are winning this. It's just come into stock. I'm not 100% sure if this is a new release or a re-release, but it's just come back into stock. It was listed on the Facebook page today for eModels. It's that much worth of kit, and you can win it for simply uploading a picture or two and doing some reviews. So we're going to draw it on the 1st of November. And like I say, we'll just pick the 5-star review picture that we think deserves to win. And again, you don't have to be a wonderful model maker. It could just be a really simple paint job, but we'll look at, the passion you've put into it and how you've done it. So give it a go.
Yeah, Kenneth M says, is it for minute finish models only? It's not. You can post work in progress pictures, but we'll really only look at the finished model.
Yeah, we would if it's a work in progress. If you're putting up a picture that's a work in progress, please label it as a work in progress, because we won't count those. We're going to be looking at finished builds.
Yeah. So yeah, if you've got a sort of catalogue of pictures that you want to show of your work in progress, yeah, you keep them, put them on your YouTube channel or your Facebook page, but just pick out a couple of good ones. You can post them on there, but we really will be only judging the completed finished model, such like. And don't forget, it doesn't have to be in a diorama or anything, as Fox says.
Yeah.
We'll be judging it on the model itself.
Yeah, do try and take as nice a photograph as you can. Obviously, make sure it's in focus. Make sure it's lit so we can see what you've taken, what you've built. If it's dark and out of focus, we might not be able to see it. So you don't have to be an expert photographer. Just make sure it's nice and clear and well lit so we can see it.
Yeah, it's all about sharing your work and
yeah.
commenting and helping other modelers out by going and reviewing somebody else's work. You know, if you think it's worth 5 stars, give it 5 stars.
The whole point of this is just to get people sharing and giving feedback, and to reward somebody each month for being part of the little community that gives that feedback. Because there's nothing better than posting a picture of your work and people come back with loads of feedback telling you it's really good and what they think. And even sometimes they might give you advice saying that's brilliant, but have you thought about this instead? So all feedback is good feedback, and it's just nice.
That's what this show's about. That's what eModels is about.
Yes.
We're here to help everybody, and make you enjoy your hobby.
So I shall unshare the screen, but yes, go and post up some pictures. Like I say, 1 picture per build, but just choose your nicest picture. But you can do as many pictures as you want. Just do 1 picture per build, and I shall stop screen sharing now. And you could win this.
And Sergeant Bourne says that he doesn't buy from eModels anymore. It doesn't have to be from eModels.
Nope. Yes, your kit can come from anywhere.
Yeah.
Right, am I still screen sharing? I'm not, am I?
No, you're not. You're back with
Yes, your kit can be from anywhere. You'll notice on there's like Gunpla and kits that eModels don't currently. I mean, I put a Gunpla on there.
Yeah.
It's more about building up the community around the hobby, not necessarily just...
It's a reader's gallery of models, you know, not necessarily eModels. Yeah.
Especially though people the scratch build stuff, you could scratch build a plane. Well, eModels don't sell that. But we still want to see it.
Yeah, those 2 boats of mine, they were scratch built. So
yeah, exactly. I forgot that. Every time I see those pictures, I forget you built them from basically just like, you know, piles of matchsticks and bits of rock and string, and I'm like, blimey, Riley.
Right, it's my turn now. Should we go and
have
what's in store?
You can do some pointy clicky stuff.
Yeah, I'll lock it on me, and then I'll try and do a screen share and find the right thing to screen share. Where were we?
Let me get the chat up. I need the chat up, don't I? That's the point, so I can read it.
What I've done this week, I've gone and had a look. I thought we've done big stuff for a long time now, 148, 135, and things like that. But there's a lot of you guys out there that build 1/72 stuff, and you're quite happy to build that, and it looks very good, and it's brilliant. You can get a huge collection of 1/72 on the shelf. And one of the first things that I found was a set of 1/72 figures, German Panzercrew figures. Not often you see figures at this scale, but there's a set there. Fortunately, the tank's not included in the sets, but something if you're building a diorama, 1/72. There we go. A set of figures. These are from Caesar Miniatures. I've not had any personal experience of them, but I do hear they are fairly good. So that's 1/72 World War II German Panzercrew. Shows there on a Tiger, but as you see there, it doesn't have to necessarily be for a Tiger tank set. Pay the medical you want. So
I've got to tell you, Ted, the one thing I struggle at figure painting, but 170 people that can paint 1/72 scale figures, that's a skill.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Ant does 144 scale figures, but even 1/72 scale figures that come out looking super realistic.
I don't think I don't think his figures are in that scale. I think he has a super large 1p piece. I think he's got a 1p piece about 6 inches across, and it just makes his figures look small.
Yeah, either that or he actually shrinks himself down to the same. Here's a question for everybody out there then. At some point, everybody must have been painting something small and wished, I wish I could just shrink down to the size of it so I could see it life size and then I could just paint it properly. I've thought that myself. Or is it just me? It's just me, isn't it?
But isn't that what you do when you build your model? You put it on the bench and then you get down on your knees and look at it across the bench at eye level, pretending you're actually the soldier in front of the tank or something.
That's just you said that one. That's on you, that one.
No, no, don't come on. Admit that you've gone around the room with your aeroplane, haven't you? Going,
Yeah, okay.
yes.
All right, fine.
Got you.
Actually, I'll tell you a little strange story just on the complete aside and very quickly. My dad was a cameraman, so he used to work in TV. So when I was a kid and I played with toy cars, I didn't play with toy cars like normal kids. I used to play with toy cars and I was the camera. So I'd kind of put my face on the toy car where the camera will be on the bonnet or the side of the car and do those kind of shots. And I'd line up shots in my head and play them out. Moving on.
So it's not just me then.
Nope.
So if you want, if you have the Panzer figures, the Panzer crew, there's a Panther tank to put them on. The 172nd Panzer V Panther D early production. Yep, that 172nd. One thing about these kits in this scale, they are really pocket money prices, really good prices. At $17.99, a good price. That Dragon, a good kit.
Dragon are good.
Dragon are good. Airfix. We must have built a 177 Airfix Flying Fortress. Everybody has, yeah. If not the Lancaster bomber, if you're American, you probably built the Flying Fortress.
Oh, Ted, Chris at Grace Models, our mod for this evening, one of them says his is the 1p piece and uses a battery.
Ah, right.
And to reply to Paul, no, it wasn't me mixing them up. It was Ted that said that.
Ah, right. Sorry. Yeah. Okay then. Yeah.
Well, Scott's from Orkney. You know that.
I knew that somebody had a 1p piece that was 6 foot across. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the 172nd Boeing Fortress. I suppose it's equivalent of the Lancaster bomber.
Yes. Chris also says these are all still big kits. Where's the proper scale stuff? Chris likes his 1/44 scale stuff.
You mean they come smaller than this?
Oh yeah.
No.
Flying Fortress. You can't go wrong with the Flying Fortress.
We had to pick this one, even if it's just for the box.
Yeah, sexy blackness box type scenario. I'll buy a kit of anything if it comes in a box like that. I don't care what the kit is. It could be a kit of a pool of water. I don't mind.
I keep getting this. I noticed this one. It's 1975, not the year, but the price. But it also says in the description of it, it comes with plastic sprues, obviously, photo etch, water slide decals, and a turned metal gun barrel and interior detail.
For less than 20 quid, that's brilliant.
For less than 20 quid. How do you get interior detail on a 170?
I know. Very well, thank you. Who is it by?
Model Collect.
Oh yeah, they do some good stuff.
Yeah.
Ted, while you were talking, I got myself a glass of water, and it's warm water because the tap wasn't fully cold. Minging.
Yeah, and the final one for tonight, this one will be sending shivers down TK's spine, where he built the Italieri one, the Academy 177 Lockheed 71 with a drone.
Yes. How can you not like the SR70 on Blackbird? I mean, it's just everybody recognizes it when you see it. It is a gorgeous piece of engineering, almost as gorgeous as the Spitfire, but not quite, because nothing beats the Spitfire.
Yeah, I quite like that colour scheme.
Yeah, and even at 172nd, the Blackbird always makes a big and impressive kit on your shelf. And there are some Blackbird kits out there of varying quality. Academy's is supposed to be very good.
Yeah, good stuff. Right, we'll leave it there. Or should we?
Well, we have to announce last week's winner, don't we?
Should we do that? The winner of this.
Carl at Maker Models just asked if we'd done it yet, and he said no, we haven't revealed it yet.
Right, we'll do it now then.
Yes.
Yeah, right. The winner, everybody was given a chance last week to take part in the giveaway for this. This is a Chieftain Mark 11 from Tacom, which is very similar to the one that Tony's building on the eModels videos at the moment.
Tony McPony is building a tank.
Yes. And he's doing a fantastic job of it in
1/50
scale.
It is that very tricky Berlin colour scheme that reminds me of some kind of cake dish. I don't quite know why.
Yeah. But yes, when we do the big giveaways, we often like to involve everybody that can't get along for the live streams and can comment on the video. And we just before the show started, we picked a winner, or a winner was picked randomly by a computerized random people
comment pickery thingy.
The comment was last week was good luck eModels. That was to celebrate their their part in the technical entrepreneur. I forgot it now. What is it?
Your brain's gone, hasn't it, Ted?
Yeah, the Digital Entrepreneur Awards. Yeah,
Yes.
they celebrate the nomination for that. So good luck to eModels. And that was a kit. New tooling, choice of form markings, individual pre-cut tracks. Ooh. Gun can pitch, hatches can be fitted open or closed, and all the rest of it. Everything's in there. Yeah, and the winner. Should I say who the winner
Yeah,
is?
so I did a drum roll.
The winner was comment number 20, and the winner was Jason Smith. Well, hey, well done,
well done, Jason.
Well done, Jason.
Yes.
Stop that. Stop sharing.
Yep, lovely, lovely. So to claim your prize, just pop an email to ted@emodels.co.uk if you're in the chat. I've put it in the chat.
If you're in the chat. If you're not in the chat, I'll post the comment underneath this video and you can get me from there. Or you can contact the guys at eModels directly.
Yeah, drop them an email, give them a bell.
Yeah, drop them an email. It's
don't need your address and all that gubbins, but yeah, drop them a line and they'll get your prize off to you. So well done.
Yeah, well done for that. And we'll have another giveaway when I haven't had a call tonight, unfortunately. No call tonight, so there's maybe not a giveaway, but stay to the end. We never know. Yeah.
Sometimes the hotline rings just as we're about to press the button, the going home button. Yeah. In Ted's case, it's go and have a gin button. In my case, it's go and have a cigarette button. But yeah,
I do have a message, but it's just to say that the Corsair is a new release.
It's a new release. Oh, brilliant! Yes,
a new release. Yeah. So I think it's stuck on me. So he is. That's a bit of a hint that he is about.
Yes.
So
you never know.
You never know.
You never know when the guys from eModels are actually in the chat, because they don't sign in as that bloke from eModels or Pete Mate and Gav Mate. They might sign in as something else completely, like Dave fake name son or something. You never know. So yeah. Chris says Ted has been in focus tonight. Wonder what's different.
I haven't drank any gin.
Yeah, there's no focus issues because he's not had any gin going on yet.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. So Jason Smith. Well done. Right. What are we up to now?
So we've done the prize winner. We've done the stuff in store. We've done the gallery giveaway. Do get your pictures uploaded. Yeah. So how have you been, Ted?
Yeah. Good night, everybody. Bye.
Yeah, I'm spent now. Dead. With water, I'm gonna have to go and get some water because this water's warm. It's like, you know, when you get some cold water, but you don't leave the tap to run for more than about 3 or 4 seconds, and it comes out slightly tepid.
Oh, it's not bathroom water, is it? It's not out of the bathroom tap.
It's not right, but it's all I've got, so I'll live.
Well, we could do a mug. As I got the page up,
we could do a mug.
Well, we could test people's.
Should we make the wild assumption that Pete still has some mugs on the shelf and give one away?
Yeah. Yeah. Right. Talk to them a minute. I'll find a prize. I'll find a question. Right. Yeah, we're going to do a giveaway of a mug as usual.
You're a mug.
A mug, the eModels Scale Model Enthusiast mug. If you don't win one, they are available with free postage from eModels.
In exchange for money, you can win goods. You can have goods and services like this mug.
Yeah. All right. Hang on a minute.
Nate Bliss says cheese and onion. We've not even asked the question yet.
Yeah.
Okay, I've got a question. Have I got a question?
Yeah. Go on then. I was going
to. No, I haven't got a question. I'm trying to look at something. I need to find something so I can. Hang on. You try and think of a question. I'll try and think of a question. I need to find something that's.
Right, I found a question.
Okay, I've got one.
All right,
you go
with yours then.
And this is non-location specific. I have a pot of paint in my hand. Now we're not going to just to explain. This will be a fastest answer one, and it'll be the first answer we see, correct answer in the chat. Do bear in mind, we don't see the chat the same way you do. Yours is prioritized use. So it's the first one we see with the correct answer. If you've already got an eModels mug and you want to win another one, do feel free. You can have as many as you like. If you've got one and you don't want another one, don't answer. Give everybody else a chance to win. So I have in my right hand a small pot of paint. What color is it? Go.
Oh, could be anything. Could be Ferrari.
Chris says, Chris, you can't win. You can answer, but you can't win. Yeah. Blue. My alert cake. Not quite. I don't think I've actually. It is a Citadel paint.
No, this could be open.
Blue, white, green, red, gold, red. No.
Is it
Gold,
a base?
no.
Is it
Smoke,
a base
no. Red, black, yellow. No. Mermaids, not that one. Black.
Striped. Tartan.
No. Well, I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it to Phil East. He says I'm owned by Mig Orange, but I didn't ask for the brand. But it is in fact orange.
Oh.
So we'll give it to Phil because he said orange. I didn't ask for the brand, so
yeah,
I won't exclude that one. So Phil East, well done. Drop an email to ted@emodels.co.uk.
And we'll get you a mug sent out.
That's actually a really easy question to ask. What colour is the paint in my hand? We should do that more often because that's like
we could be here for hours.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
I think you'll find it's actually JSAF grey.
Yeah, shade 1943.
No, it's Japanese Navy grey. Sorry, you're not correct. You get the rivet counters. So well done, Phil. Drop an email.
Yeah, well done.
Some people did give a few answers that were my pretend names for Citadel paints. Although whoever gave the one about mermaids was polite enough not to put the first word in there. Paul Stewart's Best Marine.
Yeah, so he wanted a mug. Now you've got one. But
yes.
If you can get one, remember you can get them on the website, and they've got loads. They've got more of these in the stock.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have to tell you, it's not official yet, but apparently there are new stickers coming in, and they're spanky. New stickers.
Oh. Well, when we run out of mugs, we'll start giving stickers away again.
I think we should still give mugs away. People like their mugs, Ted.
Oh, yeah, they like the mugs. Yeah,
plus we don't have to send them out.
You can take your mug to work and impress your friends.
Yeah, if it's stickers, we have to send them out. If it's mugs, the guys at eModels have to send them out. Let's do the mugs.
Yeah, let's stick with the mugs.
Yes.
Right.
TK says Citadel weird name orange. Yes, it was. It was Troll Slayer Orange. I haven't renamed that one yet, so I can't give you the pretend name.
Yeah. Questions. I did see another question.
Have we? I missed it.
It was from Jamie Bourne. Hi, Jamie. Hi, Jim. Hi, Ted and Fox. He's finished his Tamiya Centurion tank, and he wanted to make a diorama of it with a hull down, and I'm asking how to do it. And there's a second question. Are there any brands of 135th tank crew around the Korean War? I don't know of anything around the Korean War. Nothing.
If it's are we talking US?
No, I think he's meaning to go with his Tamiya Centurion tank.
Centurion tank, yes.
That's what I'm guessing anyway. Some of the guys in here may know different. If you do know of any Korean War figures for the Centurion tank.
Yeah, because I know with the US there wouldn't have been a massive difference between like Korean and World War II uniforms and outfits. So, but with English, I don't know.
Yeah.
Not so different that you couldn't mod it into a figure anyway.
If you're going to do it hull down, I'd just do it closed down. Then you don't have to worry about figures.
Ted, I don't know about tanks. What does hull down mean?
Right, hull down means that he's hiding in a dip behind a hill. Sometimes they'll dig a trench, or sometimes they'll find a natural hollow.
So just the turret sticking out.
Where they drive the tank in, and just over the top of the thing, it will have the turret. One way I can think about doing that is to do it with some Kingspan type insulation foam, the real dense foam that you find on building sites. You could carve out of that and then cover the foam in a diorama type material, some earth and things like that. That'll be really easy to carve, and it's dense enough to work with as well. It's better than the florist's Oasis, because that just crumbles and falls apart. So get some nice thick Kingspan. It comes in various thicknesses up to about a foot thick, I think. And you can put it in that way. That would be the easiest way to do it, I would have thought.
And if you wanted to put camouflage netting over it at 1/35th scale, very fine net curtain,
or gauze bandage.
Gauze bandage, and sprinkle on some sort of ground up herbs and things for little bits of leaf, and respray it. That makes good camouflage netting.
Nice and quick.
My mum has lost many net curtains over the year. Oh wait, she's watching this. Oh, sorry, Mum.
Yes.
Sorry, Mum.
Why is there a square cut out of my curtains in the window?
Oh, the water's warm. Got a question from Kenneth M. He says, question, why is the water out of the tap in the middle of the night so good? It is. It is, especially if you've been on the beer the night before.
Not the bathroom tap though. Never have it on the bathroom tap.
Why not?
No, it's different water.
Have you got one of these old houses with an immersion heater and dead seagulls in it and stuff?
Yeah,
We have a closed boiler system, so it's the same water.
Yeah, there's dead spiders and things in it, but yeah, but out the bathroom.
We have a closed system. If you've got like an old house with an Arctic heater with
immersion
what are they called? Immersion heater or a water tank. Yeah, you've probably got dead things in there. You don't want to drink that. But I'll tell you what the best thing is to drink if you've perhaps been out for some sherbets the night before, let's say. Kids watching. Maybe you've had a few sherbets too many. Ted with this glass of non-specified beverage. There's nothing better if you live in the UK than going and go down to the kitchen, get ice cold water from the tap, and just put a load of Robinson's orange juice in it, and just in a pint glass, and just swig it in like 3 seconds. It may be uncomfortable, but you'll go to bed and you'll be like, oh.
And then you want to get up and go to the toilet.
No, because by that point you're unconscious again because of the beer. So you're like,
maybe it's just me with an old bladder.
And normally it's after you've gone for a wee that you think, oh, I need to drink loads of fluids now.
So yeah, yes, water, drinking water in the middle of the night. Never mind. Yeah, more questions, please. We need to move on. More questions.
Yes, Vincent at Mr. Lewis Model Making, in answer to the Korean figures question, said, said there are Alpine should do some. I think look it up on ScaleMates. Might be easy to search for ideas on there.
Yeah. Lots of ideas.
Bob Bobbington says about the water tank, suck in that dead spiders and decomposed pigeons.
Yeah.
For the win.
The times I've been in a loft as an electrician, in lofts and electricians, and you find all sorts of things in lofts.
Yeah. Well, thankfully, it's not since being a lad in the 70s that we had an immersion heater, so we have a closed boiler now. So the only thing I'm going to get is organisms living in the tap, which you're going to get anyway.
Yeah.
Can I just say organisms? I like the word organisms.
Yes, never mind. Glad you got that. Glad you got the pronunciation that right.
Yes, organisms.
Right. Any more questions from you guys out there? It's your chance. It's your stream. It's your live stream. It's your chat night.
Timber asks, where do you keep all your completed model builds?
At eModels.
Yeah. Yeah.
I have nowhere to put them. I do have the Hawker Typhoon 1B still kicking around the house actually. Unfortunately, it's very fragile on them wheels as it's sort of wheels down. It's very fragile and it gets wobbled about all it, and the wheel fell off it.
I mean, I've learned. I don't make many aircraft here, but I've learned over the years when you make an aircraft, build it in flight.
Yeah.
Because building it wheels down is the worst thing ever.
It's in the air.
It's huge.
Because it's here.
It's huge.
It's in the workshop because the wheel fell off.
Oh, I do like the fact that the layer of dust on it makes it look even better weathered on video.
Yeah, it's because we've been decorating and things. I
got to say, Ted, it's the first time I've actually seen it in your hand for scale, and it's actually massive.
It's huge.
Because you see it on video in the build, and you just show it, but now you're actually holding it in front of your entire face.
Yeah. If you guys can't remember out there, or you haven't seen it before, this is the Airfix 1/48 scale Hawker Typhoon Type 1B. And it's an amazing kit. It's actually fantastic. It's a bit dusty because it's sort of been neglected and left on the shelf while I've been doing some decorating, and that's why it's bust a wheel, which I've got to fix. But yeah, it's a fantastic kit to build. Really, Airfix have gone to town on this one and really got everything right.
It's what, about a 2-3-year-old printing now, isn't it? It's a modern Airfix kit, so it's actually really good.
Yeah, it was. I'm trying to think. Not last year, year before. Yeah, it's about 2.5 years old now. So yeah, cracking. Okay, if you get a chance to build it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there it is. So fly it back to the shelf.
Yes. For me, I either keep them in the cabinet behind me, or there's a cabinet downstairs, or I give them to eModels if it's an eModels build. They've got my transit van, and my striker, or I sell them. So either way, I either keep, if I really love it and I want to keep it, I'll keep it. But if not, a lot of my builds, I'll just sell them. because I've only got 2 cabinets and they get quite full.
Yeah, excuse me, I'm still here. Yeah, it's like me. My models, because I tend to build it in a large scale, I rapidly run out of places to build them. Like I envy of you guys in your 1/72 that we looked at before. You can get loads of them on the shelf, and they don't take up any room at all.
Yeah, get yourself an IKEA Detol for 40 quid. You get about 1,000. You get about 200 1/72 in there, or if you're Ant or Will, Ant or Chris, get about 3 million 1/44ths in there. We have a question from TK.
Right.
He says, question, what is the best colour to prime the 1/44th Falcon? So he's referring to the Millennium Falcon. Yes, I know I only did 6 episodes before anybody else gets in there. And there's 2 options, really. Black, which is the traditional way that Industrial Light and Magic did it when they built it. Or just any old colour, like a light grey colour, doesn't matter. And then you can do some black pre-shading over the top and then paint it the white colours, the sort of tan and white colours. However, pre-shading on that monster, even the little tiny one, you'd be there a week. So just prime it black and then build up light coats of the light colour over the top so you still keep some pre-shading effect. Models by Will says, pretty sure the filming miniature was painted in black. Yes, they were primed in black. Industrial Light and Magic used to do that a lot. A lot of filming miniatures for movies and TV, if you study how they used to make them, even the most beautiful models, like, you know, that look super complicated, a lot of them are cobbled together really, really quick because they had a tight budget and a deadline. So it's like we said before on a live stream, Ted and I will always show, like when we do our builds, certain ways of doing things. However, when it comes to actually just doing a build for ourselves that we're not filming, we often do lots of shortcuts and quick things because we know we can do it quicker. So, Fred the Foot's model says, night, guys, I'm off. Good night, matey. Thanks for coming on. Bob Bobbington says, Bobby's now closed. Sergeant Bone says, how come I can't give stars for folks' pictures in the gallery? You need to click on, when you're in the gallery, click on the show link. Don't click on the picture. That's just a slideshow. Click on where it says show, and then scroll down, and you have to hover over the stars, and it'll let you drag it back and forth to say how many stars you want to give.
But thank you. Thank you if you are going in and reviewing people's pictures. Thank you very much.
Do remember, you don't need to be signed in to you know, do stuff like this, but it's kind of handy and helpful if you do put your name and email address when you do a review, just because there might be a situation where we want to contact you. At some point in the future, we might do giveaways for reviews. We don't know yet. We're not planning on it. But we might say, you know what? We're going to pick a review at random and give that person a prize. So maybe we'll do that one day. So it's always worth putting your name and email address on there because you never know what Pete might decide to do.
Yep. This thing is evolving all the time. We've been doing it. How many episodes do you think we've done now? When did we start this?
Millions. I don't think we're quite at Gumpler TV levels yet, but...
No, we've been doing it a while. We'll have to count back and see.
Yeah, I mean, we've done it at least a year, so it's got to be at least 50 odd episodes.
You think we've been doing it? No, we haven't been doing it. We haven't done it over Christmas yet.
No, that's not happening.
Oh yes, we did do it over Christmas. Did we have the silly hats?
I think we might have done, as long as it's not like Christmas Day when we do the thing, because I'll be far too not able to present.
I'll be far too full of chicken.
Yeah, I'll be far too full of other things. Liquids.
No, we'll have a count up, and we might mark a milestone with something special.
Chicken? You don't eat chicken on Christmas Day?
No, turkey.
Turkey. I'll be far too full of all this. I'll be on the little sherries, you know, a little glass of sherry.
I had a turkey hat on last Christmas. That might have been somewhere else. Never mind. Any more questions from you guys out there? We've been
TK Models actually adds to it. He says he was going to go with black, but he needs some feedback because he doesn't want to go too dark to start off with. Yeah, you just have to build it really slowly. When I painted one of my big Falcons, I used Tamiya AS16 Insignia White, which came out a bit blue. But then when I'd done it, I gave it a very thin wash of Tamiya Smoke, which you can't do on the Bandai one because it will dissolve your model. But that's what I did on the Fine Molds one, and that warmed it up again. When I did another one, the Fine Molds 1/72 for commission, I used black primer again, and then I built up the colour using a mix of 4 parts Tamiya Flat White to 1 part Tamiya Deck Tan, which is about as close as you're going to get to the original paint they used, which is, I've forgotten what it was. It's a specific paint that doesn't exist anymore. So yeah, but you can just build up really slowly in misty layers. The first coat will be like, oh, it looks like terrible. but just build it up slow. And that way you can focus on centers and not edges and other things. You can go over it first in a medium grey colour if you want, just to tone the black down. There's no problem. I might do that on the eagle.
Hello?
Oh, hello.
Yep. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Really, I'll try not to do it again. Honest. Sorry. Yep. Okay. Sorry, sir. Yes. Sorry, sir. I'll tell them. Yes. It appears my Hawker Typhoon Type 1B is actually 1/24th scale and not 1/48th.
Yeah. Tedward. Even I could have told. I didn't actually hear you say that. So have you just had a rocket from the from above?
I've had see my office in the morning.
See miss. Red ink on the bottom of it.
Yeah, beyond the carpet in the morning. So, yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Yes, I didn't hear you say the scale, so I would have pulled you up on that because I'm like, yeah, that's not 1/48 scale. Yeah. So if you want to build it, it's a massive 1/24th scale. Yes. Correct. Yes. But you just going back to it, because I remember when you started building that, I was like Airfix, but I hadn't really seen any of the new sort of what at the time with the new Airfix retoolings, because my memory of Airfix was from like when I was a kid and they were terrible. So, but it's actually a beautiful kit, that, because Airfix are really on their game for over the last 5 or 6 years with their retools and re-releases. Their big stuff like that is actually.
Yeah,
even I could make one of those.
Give it. We sometimes knock Airfix and the older type model makers, but get the stuff to get the game together and get it right and produce more stuff like that. We'll be back.
Phil Lewis says Tamiya Insignia White is supposed to be a good match too for the Millennium Falcon. That's what I think. That's what I said. Tamiya. If you use the rattle can, it's AS16 Insignia White. It's not the same color as the paint pot Insignia White. It's a slightly different shade, but the rattle can is pretty close. It's just a little bit too blue. You have to warm it up with a wash or a filter of something to warm it slightly, browns and tones to warm it slightly. But yeah, Insignia AS16. It's entrenched in my memory. I've actually got some. I thought I had some. I haven't. Let's have a go. Let's have a look. Nate Bliss says I thought it looked a bit big. TK's model said I have a load of those. Once built, they were awesome, but I've forgotten what he's talking about. Any other questions?
Go on. About Airfix?
I don't know. I think it. I don't know.
He said he's setting up a new modelling studio.
Who is?
Kenneth.
Oh yes. Do we recommend the Hobby Zone organisers? Let me show you my Hobby Zone organisers. I have many of them. They are strongly recommended. Yes, we do. They're brilliant. They're fantastic. If you have to build them, just get yourself some Gorilla Glue, some Gorilla Wood Glue. I've spent a few hours putting them together. It's really quite good fun. They fit beautifully and they are awesome. I've got my big drawers. I've got my little drawers. I've got my brush rack, my tool rack. I've got all the drawers over here. I adore them. Get some. Do it.
Yeah, I think if I remember rightly, we did a bit of a show on Hobby Zone once before, didn't we? And they proved so popular that I think eModels were on the phone the next day to Hobby Zone and got a lot more stock in.
Yes, I think we said, "Hey, go and get this stuff," and we showed the Hobby Zone page. In fact, do you want to bring it up, Ted? Do you want me to bring it up?
I've just got it. I've just got it here.
Okay.
I'll go and do a quick screen share.
Yeah, we mentioned it and we showed this page, and during the live stream and during the chat, people said, "Oh, they're all out of stock now."
Yeah.
But then, like literally in the same chat, I think one of the members of staff came into the chat and said, "Yeah, we're ordering more tomorrow." Yeah. So yeah,
that's it. There is loads of stuff. You can build it up. You can.
It's all modular, so it all fits together beautifully.
You can bespoke make your own workbench. There's lots of it in there.
They are awesome. So Kenneth, if you're looking at them, just do it. Just don't even think about it. There are other things out there you can use, but I just really love the Hobby Zone because they're really nice. You can paint them if you want because they're MDF, so you can prime them and paint them, but they fit together in so many different ways that you
just go along, have a look on the eModels website. There's a YouTube video of the stuff there. Awesome.
Yeah.
I really must. When we move house, I really must sort of go and invest in some of this stuff myself and
do
my own build. Right, stop sharing. Come back. Oh, there we are. Back again.
Yeah. But yes, go and grab some. If there's a particular module there that isn't in stock, like say there's a particular corner piece or drawer that you think, oh, I really need this one, but they haven't got it, just drop them an email. They'll get it in stock very quickly. Carl says, Make eModels says, for the gallery, are we allowed to upload multiple pictures of the same model? As the one uploaded by eModels is not very good quality. No, but what I'll do, Carl, if you want to bop Ted an email and tell it, it's in fact, yeah, bop Ted an email, tell him which one it is, and we can delete it for you, and you can re-upload a new one.
Yeah, I wouldn't upload too many though, Carl, because we'd only have a look at one image.
Yes, there's no point doing more. So drop Ted a quick email, let him know which one it is. Just send him a link to it. So Ted, we can go in the back end, delete that entry. Because I was saying to Carl in chat earlier on, what we did was when we were setting it up, we basically picked a load of pictures from eModels Facebook page that people have submitted saying, here's my build, just to get some stuff in there to get it all started. So you might be some photographs in there of your builds that you might, oh, I don't remember uploading that. So if we've got one of your pictures in the gallery and it's maybe you've got a better one taken since we uploaded that, or you've since taken a better picture, drop us a line and we can delete it, and you can then re-upload the new picture. So there's only like a handful of pictures up there that we've picked off the Facebook page. But if it's a particularly ropey picture and you're like, oh God, that's terrible, we can delete it for you, no problem.
No problem. Yeah, where did I see it? Oh, sorry, I lost it. Yeah, Scruffy Pup says our first live stream started 23rd of January 2017. Have we been going that long?
I'm sure you had some before. Are you still locked on you, by the way, or are you locked on? Not locked on you.
There we are.
I'm sure you did some before that. I didn't appear in the first few.
No, that might have been when I did the first one.
It seems longer than that. I'm sure we were doing this like in 1987 or something. I'm sure I remember seeing you with flares and a sheepskin car coat and stuff.
Yeah, I was years younger then. I looked a lot younger and more handsome then.
Yeah, I had a lot more hair and a beard. So my hairline didn't have to be covered with a hat.
Right. Peter Dennis says they've sold out. Or what have you sold out of, Peter? Have you sold out of the
For those for people in the chat that obviously you don't know, me and Ted and Tony, we love Pete to bits. He's like, how can you describe Pete, mate? He's like, imagine you've got a puppy dog that's dead excitable, and you give it like 6 tennis balls. It's just going to explode because it won't know which one to go for. And Pete can get like that. He's like, oh, let's do 15 things. So for him to send a message saying, we've got them in stock now. Yeah, which one? What are you talking about? Bless him.
Yeah, I've got the whole message up now. Massive hobby, he says, this is from the eModels man himself.
This is from the great God in the sky. Massive
Hobby Zone delivery in next week because they've just ordered yesterday because they've got low stock. He says this is real time, and I've just picked it up at 23:34. He sent me a message. Massive delivery next week. Massive. Just ordered yesterday. Then it went low stock. Oh no, they've just sold out. So that's it. That's live. That's as it comes to it.
So that's the thing. Whenever it's yes, if you're looking at getting some, especially Kenneth, if you're looking at getting some, and there's any units missing, drop them a line. They'll have some more coming in next week.
Yeah, so you've got a massive.
Might be able to hold the order for you while, or they can, however you want to do it.
So as you can see, as we mentioned before, as what happened last time is that because we mentioned it on the live stream, people are getting it in the basket and it's going out because when it's gone, it's gone. So
and the funny thing is as well though, even when we just whatever we mention in the stream, when we mention like what's in store, it doesn't matter what we mention in the what's in store section. Pete tells me he can sit and watch as like we mention it, and within 10 or 15 minutes, he can see the amount of stock on that shelf for that product because people just start ordering it.
Yeah.
So if you do see something that we show on the stream and you think, oh, that's right, I want that, go and order it straight away. Don't hang around.
Yeah, get on your website. It'd be a good idea because often we ask questions relating to the eModels website. It'd be a good idea when we start the stream to get the eModels website up, because if you fancy something and we mention it, get it in your basket straight away because it's going to go out.
Yeah. One other thing as well, and we should have really mentioned this right at the start of the stream, but if you're watching this on the eModels website, emodels.co.uk/live, and you keep wondering where the chat is, you can actually join the chat. If you go to the bottom of the screen and press the little YouTube thing at the bottom of the video, it takes to the YouTube page where you can watch it and take part in the chat. But it's kind of a bit late now because we're nearly done. So I forgot to say that at the start. I'm rubbish. What can I say? I suck.
Yeah, we should say.
It's your fault, Ted.
It's my fault. I forget everything.
I blame on Chris.
Yeah, right.
Chris is the new boy. He gets all the blame. It's his fault that my water is warm.
Mr. Law said it works. I've asked for a certain type of kit. Looks at massive. He looked at his tank transporter. Yep. eModels helped him out with a link to buy it, and he did it there and then. Yeah, it works.
Paul Stewart says, try selling some utter trash to see if people buy it.
No, we don't do that. eModels don't sell utter trash.
No, they only sell the awesome stuff.
They only sell the awesome.
Don't forget, of course, if you've not been on the site for a while, up where we showed you the gallery option on the menu at the top, there's also a section on there called offers. And at the moment, eModels do regular updates to their offers section. Basically, every day they'll go in and they'll look at kits and products and tools and materials that you might think are awesome, and they'll drop the price a little bit. And it does vary. The price can be dropped for a day. It could be done for a month. It could be a week. It could be 20 minutes. So whenever you pop into the website, do go in and have a look at the offers section just to see what's in. Some things might be in there for a long time. Some things might come and go. And I can see Ted smiling now. So somebody's sending him something.
I'll tell you later.
Okay. That's not from Pete then. So yeah, do go and check out the offers section as well, because you never know what's in there. It does change regularly, and there are some great deals in there.
Yeah. Right. Hey, right. I've just realised the time. It's 11:15.
Blimey, Riley.
Yeah, my wife must have fallen asleep because I haven't had a text to put the dog out, to put the dog in the washer, or the cat.
Bring the chicken in and put the laundry out.
Yeah, bring the chicken in and put the laundry out. So I think it's really time. We had wrapped it up for tonight. Once again, it's been an awesome show. We've had a winner from a fantastic giveaway. We're going to do it again sometime, but
yes,
you never know when.
Yeah, there's been no word from above tonight, so no giveaway.
No, I think they must have sold out. They'll have to restock eModels tomorrow. So there'll be a load of vans, a load of HGV Arctics turning outside eModels.
Do people say Arctics anymore?
Arctics?
I don't think people say Arctics anymore, do they? They just say HGVs, LGVs. I think Arctic is a kind of 70s thing. Your age, Ted.
Right, hang on a minute. Hang on. Things gonna work.
Models by Will says, can someone make an offer for Chris? We need to move him out to make room for something better. Bless him. It's only his first day.
Yeah, he's doing quite well.
Yeah. Yes, well done, Chris. I know Will. It's actually Will's first time modding in here as well. But Will's an old hand. He's just not modded in here before. But Chris is a new boy to the Model Makers Treehouse. And it's both their first times modding. So thank you very much to those two. And TK, as usual. None of the other mods are in tonight, but thank to all our mods who do a difficult job in trying circumstances. Although Dave has been quiet tonight, so only kidding, Dave.
Right. Right, I just got this to show you. I've got a message to show you this.
Hello, here we go.
I've got a message to show you this. It's the 1/72nd scale Avro Shackleton. Remember we had a 1/72nd scale tonight? And this is the 1/72nd scale new release from Airfix. And I saw it at Telford last year. Fantastic. And you know what? We're going to give it away.
Very last minute there. Look at this.
Look at this.
Who was it that left about 10-15 minutes ago? Oh!
Yeah, we're going to give this 1/72nd scale Avro Shackleton away with a comment, as before, for those that can't take part, by commenting on the video.
Yeah, don't do it straight away. When we finish the stream, give it about 10 or 15 minutes. This stream will then be archived as a video on the eModels YouTube channel. Put your comment on there, not in this chat, but on the video when it's archived. So give it about 10 or 15 minutes. It'll pop up on the eModels YouTube channel. Have we got a phrase, or shall I make one up?
Go on, you make it up. I did it last week. You could do it for this week.
For this week, we want you to put the phrase, give me the thing. That will do. I'll put it in the chat. I'll put it, give me the thing.
Yeah, and
have
you
to do it
can
capital.
then you can get your chance to have a go at an Airfix kit and see what the new tooling is really like.
Yeah, I mean, in reality, you could put any comment. I'll probably still pick it anyway, but just for fun, give me the thing. We will pick the winner next Monday, so it gives everybody a week. So if you're watching this and it's not live, this is to give people who don't watch this stream live a chance to take part. So, people that are on different parts of the world, or even though Will's here, and Will lives upside down on the other side of the world, and he's here. So why aren't you here? So yes, put a comment on this video. Give it about 10 or 15 minutes until the video is just a video on the YouTube channel. Put your comment on there, and we will pick a fantabulous winner next week.
Yeah, that's good. That's how it happens on eModels.
Yes,
Yeah.
could be very. I think Pete, I think he really leaves it to like when he can see we're dying for a wee. Dying for a wee, we're about to press the button. It's like,
just as we're going like this and about to press the button. Oh, hang on,
I think what Pete May does is he writes the text and then he copies it and then just deletes it, and then just at the last minute he's like, send. So this is why it's worth watching the live stream right to the bitter end.
Yeah. Because not everybody watches it again after they've left. They think they've watched it all through, and they don't want to sit through it all again.
Do bear in mind as well that we don't actually post up about these giveaways on the Facebook page. We just keep it in the video, because we do get a question from people saying, "Why are all these comments on this video?" It's like, did you not watch the video? No. So we don't post this anywhere else. We just do it on this video. So you have to watch the video to.
And then you've got to watch it next week to see if you've won. Because
yes. Gaz Malvin says, thanks, Ted and Fox. See you next week. Hearty, you didn't leave till the last moment, so you chose well, Gaz.
Yeah. But now I think we are at time. It's going to go. Time to go.
Yeah. We'll kill it one day if we do like a 6-hour-long stream. Everybody will just die. And then give away nothing at the end.
Yeah. Do we have to have bags and things? So if we're going to do a 24-hour stream, not the way
Can you imagine like a 6-hour stream and be like, and thanks for watching, no giveaway, bye. People will be like, oh.
Right. Looks like people are going home anyway. They get seats, and
we've told them what they get. They've all going now.
Yeah, they're not taking the pots and dishes with them. They're just leaving them. We'll have to
they only came for the comedy turn. Now that's been on and off. They've come for the pre-act.
Right. Yeah, it's going to be time for us to go as well, so we can recover in time for next week's show.
Yes.
You've been an awesome group of chatters. Kept us going, and thanks to our Fox has already said it, but thanks to our moderators doing a great job giving up your own time to come in.
Yeah, Will, Chris, and TK, thank you very much.
And abusers as well. And Will has come in from the other side of the world. Yes,
Will is sitting there with his, I won't say that because that's a rude word, but his brown cereal, let's say. It's known as something else in other quarters.
He'll have his PJs still on, eating that brown stuff. That's right. Right,
Scruffy Pup, right at the end, Scruffy Pup says, when are you doing the live build? I think that's when me and you build something.
Yeah.
We've got to get some stuff off Pete yet. We've got to tell Pete to send us some stuff yet. Pete, mate, you're sending us some kits. You don't know about it. You are.
We're going to do it. Yeah, we'll do a live build.
Yeah. Like a 2-hour, 3-hour build.
You're going to build the Dora.
No.
In 2 hours.
I wouldn't need instructions out in 2 hours.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we're about talking to ourselves now because everybody's gone home. So, right, it's time to say good night. So, good night from me, and it's good night from him over there.
Good night. Good night.
Good night, everybody. Good night. I'm going to press the button. Bye now. Bye. I know where the button is now.
Yeah, but can you get to it fast enough?